appointment next week, or whatever, you're totally missing out on the moment at hand and the ability to have you find peace from on the inside, which I think is a really important part of our relationship. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves, and then we can talk a little bit about your course and what the struggle that you're having.
Michelle.
Struggles.
Buddy. Struggles, what do we have? He wins a lot. I let him win. I don't take control. He doesn't take control.
Okay, so that sounds kind of like your confidence issues or you know what to do when you're doing something that you're not wanting.
Yes, and also I think I'm just prone to letting my critters get away with stuff. Like, they do that. Rather than taking control, I do it.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Susan. This is Roger. So my struggle with this is I let my emotions take over. And I'm very good at it.
We all are.
And so when my emotions take over, I think what I'm asking him to do is probably do because he can't let me my emotions. So that's my problem.
And it's going to be perfect for you.
I think so.
Hi, I'm Rose. This is Dooley. And Dooley is a very well-trained boy, but he's also a little bit goofy at times. And I really would like to be able to show him Western. I've done a little of it, but we need a lot more refinement with the one-handed rein. And I think at showtime, of course, my emotions are, I'm a little more tense, and I'm sure he's reading that. And so he becomes a little more tense, and I just think we need a lot more practice in that kind of thing.
Well, you know, when you go into children, I think what it says that you're not nervous. I don't think you're nervous.
Right.
Because that is the time where you're really putting a little pressure on yourself for that one. So,
Thank you.
I'm Bree, and this is Jasmine, and we've been together for 3 years. And what still doesn't always work for us is she isn't always, I'm not always communicating properly, and so she's not always responding. So I'm concerned about response, and specifically her responding to me more quickly because, as you're pointing out, this then gets me more emotional. And I don't want to be emotional, I want to be, as you were saying earlier, in the moment.
then you're
Hi, I'm Margot. This is Sugar. I relate a lot to what you said. And I was adding people on the there. I was pushing back myself for and so I don't identify clearly. Oh, we get that.
Well, thank you all for coming. And I think that we can do some good things and I think that a lot of times one of the things that is problem is, and it's Michelle that recently was and if you don't know what to do, things are happening and you're like, I don't know what to do. And that causes a lot of anxiety increases in confusion. And so fear of not knowing what to do is a genuine concern. So Turn towards your horse. And I want you to put your hands on your horse, like on the neck and on the shoulder, or on the chest and on the neck, whatever. And I want you to do the same exact thing, okay? What I want you to do is I really want you to pay attention to the exhale of your breath. So inhale and exhale. And you're going to think about let it go. And I want you to feel what your horse is feeling like when you're doing it. Okay, so we're getting some good stuff here. We're getting the horse's eyes are closing. We're getting the horse over here that are resting. We're getting the head lowering here, okay? Those are all the same things that when that happens in your body, you're having the horse experience that same thing, okay? What happens is you can go ahead and you can continue doing that if you want, or you can listen to it at the same time. What happens is that when you're allowing yourself concentrating on your breath, okay? You're not paying attention to anything else because your mind is now focused on that. It's going to get you into being more in a relaxed state. Okay? When you're in a relaxed state with your horse, you're able to be much more clear in your communication. So where you were saying that you were having troubles with, sounded like clear communication with your horse because you had this and that, okay? The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is go to your breathing. Okay, I know it sounds very like New Age and whatever it is, okay? But breathing is very important because when you are feeling anxious, you feel tight, your chest is tight, your breath is shallow, and you're just feeling clenched up all the time. When you're in the saddle and you're clenched, you're going against your horse's motion because every step you're going to take, you are in the horse in motion and you're in motion of the horse. So if you're tense, you're going against what the horse is naturally doing. And it's going to feel like a much more jarring, uncomfortable, unpleasant ride back, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to mount up here. Does anybody have any questions so far? No? Wait, did you see any reactions where you feel like they're reacting with your horse? Your horse is really good. What's he doing? He was falling asleep. I feel like it's like perfect.
It's rain, right? It's like,
Perfect. Nice Sunday morning. I loved it. Your horse over here is remarkable. He definitely is down here. He's trying to rest on his hind leg. But you can tell, he's like, I want to, but I shouldn't. So that's going to be something that if you continue to work with him, he's going to want to feel like that. Okay? All right, so I don't know if you guys need the mounting block or you can get up or... All right, so why don't you go ahead and just do what you do to get forward, and then we're going to do some exercise on the top. Thank you, sir. And here's Josh, and Josh, thank you very much for hosting this clinic here at your facility.
Very welcome.
How's your mom doing?
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk later.
The opposite of what we're supposed to have. She's got like this eye, like she's all arched back and head up and I don't know. Oh, look at what she has there. I wonder, did everybody see that? Okay, so. And I shouldn't throw the whole thing away, I know. Well, no, but you can see exactly what just happened. So you do is kind of like that. Oh, I was ready. Okay? And then you let her go to it. Oh my gosh, thank you. You can hold it in. Very expression totally change right there. My eye on that. Yeah. So, button up and see what's down the rail.
Like what I wrote?
Yeah, go ahead and, on the Appaloosa horse here, go ahead and have them stop and stand and give, the horse ready a little bit of time. There you go, that's better. Because it's raining or inside, it's a little bit more closed. Marie, I would encourage you to let your horse have a little bit more range. There you go. How's he feeling? Okay, so while you guys are just walking around, we're going to practice your breathing. Okay? So what I want you to do is, the walk is a 4-count beat. I want you to inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. And all you're going to do is pay attention to where your horse is going, so you're not going to let anybody crash into each other. But I want you to really pay attention to your breath. Inhale, what part of our body are you using? When you inhale, you're allowing your rib cage to lift, but you're not like, so you're engaging your core when you're doing your inhale. Okay, and then when you exhale, it's kind of a long, slow breath out. This exercise is actually going to really help you with finding your balance, because with every stride that your horse takes, your body goes out of balance. Okay, if you're standing still, that's fine, but with every stride, it's different. And so when you start to add more energy to your horse, you have less time to find yourself back there. So if you can practice this with working on getting your core engaged and using your center with your breathing to find where your balance is, rather than relying on your reins, throwing your shoulders back, stepping on your stirrups, whatever, it's going to be really helpful. And it's also going to help you to stay in motion with your horse's motion, not going against it. When you tense up and you hold your breath, that's when you're going to start getting that much more jarring, and that's when panic sets in. So how's everybody feeling here at the walk? Pretty good. So with that Appaloosa horse right there, okay, so he looks like is he walking your speed or is he walking his speed? He's walking his speed, okay? There's a big difference there. And your speed is your speed, no matter what it is, okay? So if you want it to be a real slow walk, that's fine. If you want it to be a more extended walk, whatever you're most comfortable with is fine, but it needs to be yours, not his, okay? So a great way to get your horse to control his speed without thinking that you're putting the brakes on all the time, because when you put the brakes on all the time with your reins, you wear them out, okay? So changing the direction of your horse's legs is really crucial. And just like driving your car, you want to drive attentively and have, proper braking distance and that kind of thing, so in that way, everybody maintains a good position. So, does everybody know how to ask their horses to move their shoulders? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to ask our horses to move their shoulders to the right and to the left, to the right and to the left. So that way we can see how taking away that forward stride is going to ask the horse to slow down without wearing out those brakes. Okay? So, when we're doing that, if you're asking the horse to come off of the rail, your outside rein, your right rein is going to walk to outside, your inside rein is going to create a little bit of space there. You're going to ask the horse to push into the space that you have created. When you do this, you're going to firm up on your reins a little bit, because if you use your legs, then your horse might think that you're actually going to go faster. So for him, the reins are connected to the horse's bit, is the apex or whatever, the high point of the triangle on the top, and then your hands are the two other points, okay? So anytime that we're going to be working with our horse right now, we're going to keep him in between those 2 points, okay? So, how's everybody doing with moving our horses off and on the rail a little bit with our shoulders?
Pretty good. I have a question though, Kelly.
Yes.
So if I'm moving my horse like more into the ring,
Yeah.
into the center of the ring, should the whole horse be moving in? Should I just be keeping his front end moving in?
Well, that's a good question. When you are picking your spot
Yeah.
to move,
Yeah.
that is the spot that you're going to ask the horse to move, okay? So when you move that spot, so right now we're talking about the shoulders, so the horse's point of the shoulders is where we're asking him to move. So you're not talking to what's behind you at this point. So you're saying, shoulder move over, and then you're going to release a little bit. Your horse's behind him is going to naturally catch up. So you're not asking, I don't know if I'm clear what you're asking. You're not asking your horse to do like a side pass or a diagonal. You're just saying, hey, I'm picking this spot right here. Okay?
So we're not really using our legs right now.
You're gonna move your reins, and your legs are gonna be having your horse in its forward motion. Okay. So you're not like using that one leg to say, hey, move off in that one direction. There you go. Good. Now, this particular exercise, when you're in control of the shoulders, say, hey, move over here, move over here, move over here, move over here, is really helpful because how many of you have been on a trail ride before? Yeah? Okay. So when you're on a trail, you don't have a big arena or a big pasture, a big open space in order to do a lot of schooling of your horse if they're, moving more forward. You don't have like circling room and all of that. But you do have 4 inches to the right or to the left of you, okay? So this is a perfect example of how to, if your horse does the whatever, jigging, or they're, they want to be the lead horse, this is a perfect exercise to use on the trail, so you're not getting frustrated going, oh my gosh, my horse is going too fast, I have to slow him down, I have to slow him down, I have to slow him down, okay? This is, you say, hey, let's do this exercise. We're going to move this spot over there. Now we're going to move this spot back over there. Now we're going to move this spot back over there. Now we're going to move this spot back over there. What's going to happen is when you're actually doing that and you're engaged in being in control of where, the direction that your horse's legs are going, that's when your horse is going to come back to you because you're more important than him thinking that he needs to be the lead horse. I think, Susan, that this is, if I can remember from what you were saying, how you kind of get a little bit jumbled. Okay? If you just focus on what spot you want to move in the result that you're looking for, that's going to clear everything up. Okay? We get into a groove, I think, of, oh my gosh, our horse is doing this or our horse is doing that, and we're giving what they're doing more importance than what the end result of what we're asking them to do is. Okay? It doesn't really matter what they're doing because what we want them to do is we want them to do what we're asking them to do. So you have to be clear on that. So if you try to fix everything at once, it's not going to happen. But being able to control the direction of your horse's legs is an excellent speed control format. And what it does is it gets your horse to be softer, more responsive, more willing, because he gets into a, well, let's go ahead, come on in here, we're gonna do a little bit of a demonstration. And I'm gonna have you get off. So. All right, so everyone's gonna watch Margot here for a second. Okay, so Margot, see letter M right there? I want you to walk to letter M. Great, okay, come on back. Okay, so that was pretty smooth. You had a clear idea of what you were doing. M was your end result, right? Okay. So now I want you to walk to M, and every time I tell you to go right or left, I want you to step to the right or left. Okay? Right, right, left, right, left, right, 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 left. Okay? So see what just happened there? Your path wasn't, okay? You had to slow down, you had to think, because you're like, wait, which direction is she going to ask me to go to, right or left or whatever? So that forward motion was being taken away from you. That's exactly what you do to your horse when you have them do these exercises.
That was
Okay?
a great analogy.
Whether, right, I know, it's like so clear.
Yeah.
Whether you're asking to move their shoulder or their hip is much better. All right, here you go. Thanks.
Oh God.
No, I think we had everybody sign the releases on. All right, so let's go ahead and put your horses back out on the rail, and I just want you to practice that, and I want you to pay attention to this spot, the left shoulder and the right shoulder. So this spot, here and here, okay? Going to the right or to the left, all right? So we know that the horse has a whole mane right down the center of his body, and you have a right rein and a left rein. So we have the right horse and the left horse that we're in control of all the time, okay? So when we're asking the horse's right shoulder to go to the left shoulder is also having to go to the left at the same time, okay? We're just gonna make room there, but we're saying, hey, right shoulder, go left, then left shoulder, go right, okay? Don't try to get a whole, like, well, my horse needs to do this and that and whatever. Simplify it, simplify it, simplify it. When you go to firm up on your reins, because you're saying, okay, I'm gonna need to be a little bit more clear in my direction here with you, when you firm up on your rein, then what's going to end up happening is your horse is going to think about that bit a little bit more. You're going to have a little bit of leg. You have the gas is back here in your leg. So if you're using too much hand, that's going to be putting on the brakes, so your horse is going to be moving forward. So if you're feeling your horse wanting to stop, that's not the answer. We're saying, hey, forward motion, but move over. So that's where your legs are going to come into play while you're still giving them the direction of moving that spot.
So, question.
Yes.
So when you're asking me to firm up on my rein, you're asking me just to like tighten my grip, more or less.
Yes. Now, the feel in your hand when you're holding the reins comes from the pinky side, okay? I know that you English riders, proper English etiquette is to have the rein in between the pinky and the ring finger. However, for training purposes, let's throw that out the window, okay? We're going to use our pinky side. Because every time that you are asking your horse to do something, okay, so we're here, every time that we're asking our horse to do something, when we firm up on the pinky side is the one that's in more close direct contact with the horse's bit, correct?
Right.
All right? So you're going to be feeling what's happening. So you can see as I'm firming up here, see how his nose is like, all right, I'm coming here. When I release it, he's like, oh, okay. So when you go to firm up, try to you want to be as soft as possible, but as firm as necessary. So you're not going to go from just holding your reins to like having a whole lot of tension on the rein. You're going to kind of put it in there because you're giving the horse the opportunity to feel what it is that you're doing. So kind of like, I like to think of it as like if you're squeezing water out of a sponge. Okay? Squeezing water out of a sponge on the rein. You can feel that it kind of like goes from softest to more firm when you have your whole fist around the sponge, and then you kind of release it there. So work on that and see what's going on, because your hands are knowing what's going on if you allow them to. Okay? We don't need to have our eyeballs looking at what's happening because you can feel the pressure. Okay? Okay, so go ahead and ask your horses to go back up into the walk. Great. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and gather up? Gather up? Gather up. Or lather up. I know, right? Get a bar of soap and go outside, you might be able to do that easy. Okay, so our first, when we first started the clinic, we were talking about how important our breathing is in order to be able to get rid of the anxiety, fear, okay? Controlling our own emotions, so that way we're going to be able to be in much better control of our horse and be much more in a peaceful place in the saddle, okay? The second thing that we're going to talk about is how important your eyes are to this piece, okay? What I was noticing as I was just kind of observing everybody, everybody is kind of going to the horse's head, okay? That is like you staring when you're driving at the middle of your steering wheel, all right? Because you have your horse windshield here, okay? This is really important, so then that way there's no crashes. You don't know if the car in front of you, the horse in front of you is now stopped and is backing up, or you don't know if you're out on the trail and suddenly, there's a log that is around covering the trail, or if you're out in the pasture and there's a woodchuck hole that you need to avoid, okay? So your eyes are really crucial in this whole controlling of your emotion for two reasons. The further that you can look ahead, so if you're riding in a ring, you're going to always be looking corner to corner, corner to corner to corner, okay? Because when your eyes go down to your horse's head or to the ground, which we don't want that to happen because you don't want it land
End
there,
up there.
right? Exactly. That's kind of like the universal, we know that. When you look down, that is when what you need to do goes into panic. Oh my God, they're going too fast, and your whole perspective of things changes, okay? So your horse may or may not be going too fast, but if you're looking and you can see the ground going by, well, by golly, they're like speeding around, okay? And then that's when I'm gonna die, I'm gonna fall off, I need to stop my horse, I can't do this. That's when all that self-doubt and not knowing what to do gets stronger, okay? So anytime that you are in a position that you're feeling like you're starting to panic because it might not be going so smoothly, the first thing you need to tell yourself is get my eyes up, okay? Get my eyes up. Because in order to fix whatever is going on underneath you, your brain has to first acknowledge what's going on underneath you. And then it has to send the message to the rest of your body in order to put it into play. So, for example, I was riding one of the horses that I just started the other day, and everything's going along fine, and all of a sudden we came around some corner and something behind him scared him, so he was like, I'm beating feet and I'm out of here. All right, so the first thing I did was look up. And it's very important to have this dialogue because, if you guys are riding in lessons or whatever, you're having the person with the eyes on the ground direct you, tell you what you need to do. When you're riding by yourself and you're there, you're, relying on your own self. And so you're no different than I am because I'm in the same spot and if I look down, I think, holy cow, I'm gonna die. Oh my God, this isn't good. I'm not very good at this, or whatever, because with all that self-doubt kind of like comes into play. So, look up. So I look up, my horse is, gone like 3 strides forward, and I'm like, geez, going where I don't want him to go at a fast rate of speed. I'm shutting down that gas. Okay, so then I say, hey, and I totally disengage the hindquarters. Disengaging the hindquarters is taking the horse's nose around, moving the hip to one side, and it gets the horse to stop. It's a one-ring stop, emergency brake, whatever it is you want to talk about. So that helped me do that. I got back in control of the situation. I got the horse to respond in the way I needed him to respond, and then we went along our business. Don't live there, okay? Things happen, fix it, move on. Whether it's what you want to have happen or what you didn't want to have happen, who cares? It's over. There's nothing that you can do about it now. Did what you did, everything's now in the future for you, okay? But getting your eyes up and forward is so crucial. Crucial. I can't tell you how important that is. Every time that if something has gone wrong when I'm riding, I end up falling off or getting hurt because I go from here to there, and within a second, that's where I am, okay? So it's really important. So let's go ahead and ask our horses to move back out onto the rail.
When reverse direction.
Yeah, we can reverse direction. So you're going to go to the right. And I want you to, this is what we're gonna do, is we're just gonna do a little exercise of doing upward and downward transitions, okay? We don't have a lot of room in here, I know, so we're just gonna kind of like let our horse walk for 4 strides, ask them to go up into their jog or trot for 4 strides, bring them back down to the walk for 4 strides. So a continuation of that, and you're practicing. Now we're added the breath. The breath is first, now we're adding the eyes. So we're using that 4 as well, so that way you can have that rhythm going on. Breathing in for 4. When you get to there, you know that you're going to do a transition, one or the other, okay? It's going to help keep you knowing what you're doing. Back them up, we'll circle up to what was usually exercise that we did. Breathing, okay. That was a really good question. I don't know if in your riding, if you guys heard that or not. But Michelle said, what happens if when I bring my horse up to the trot and then I bring him back down to the walk and he's not really excited about the walk because he's thinking forward, okay? If your horse is thinking forward, you're thinking, I need to change, remember the exercise we just, the demonstration with Marco, we're saying, hey, we're going to change that direction of his leg. So go right to moving his shoulder to one side, the other side, the other side.
When he's jogging, start moving the shoulders until he comes down to his walk. Is that what you're saying?
I thought you said that when he's jogging and then
So
you bring
when
him down.
jogging, it is really forward, he doesn't want to go back down to the walk. So should I start moving the shoulders at the jog to get him to slow down so he'll come down in his walk?
Sure. How are you doing? Good. Good. Are you feeling like you're having success with the things that we've been talking about? Seeing it put into practice and getting some results? Okay, so then the third part that we're talking about is the self-dialogue, okay? So that way you know what to do when you don't know what to do, all right? It's very, very important, in my opinion. So, what we're gonna do is, the exercise that we're gonna just ask our horses to do is just walking forward, and we're going to disengage the hindquarters, release, and let them walk forward again, okay? What I want you to do is I want you guys to find the center or the buckle of your reins during this exercise. And here I am, I'm on my horse. So I ask my horse to go forward. So I'm using my legs, and I'm gonna say, and I want you to say, go forward, because that's the result of what your action is, okay? Paying attention to the result and not what the problem is what's going to really ensure your success with a lot of stuff, because you're going to be paying attention to what you want your horse to do, not what your horse is doing, which is how you know what to do when you don't know what to do. Okay, so I'm on my horse. I'm using my legs, go forward. I'm letting my horse walk forward 5 or 6 steps. I'm going to take the slack out of my reins by lifting the center of the rein or the buckle. I'm going to reach down with one hand and I'm going to grab one rein and I'm going to say, give me your nose. And I'm going to ask that horse's nose to come back and I want their hip to move. So we're disengaging the hip. So it's give me your nose, move your hip, and then you're going to release. And then you're going to just repeat the same thing. You're going to switch hands though. Go forward. So walking forward, taking the slack out, reach for the rein, give me your nose, move your hind end, release, switch hands, go forward, okay? Because what we do on one side, we want to do on the other, so we're going to get ambidextrous with that. So now, you're not using both hands, okay? Slack out, reach with your left hand down your horse's neck.
Okay,
Or
with just one rein,
with
not both
one
reins.
rein,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
But your hand should be, the buckle hand should be up.
Up in the center,
Oh.
okay? When you lift your rein up here like this, you're taking the slack out. You are shortening your rein to reach it at an appropriate length, okay? You're not leaving all the drape in the rein for you to reach over your horse's neck, getting yourself in a precarious position to then come back out. So you're keeping yourself square. Your shoulder hip heel, your hips, or your shoulders staying above your hip. So your hand's gonna come right up here, right up the center, okay? Reach for the nose, move your hind end. When you feel that, your hip is his hip, or your hip is her hip. So when you ask the horse's hip to move, if we're using our left rein, our left hip is going to come back like this. Okay, so you're going to feel that. There you go. Then release. Then you're going to ask the horse to walk forward. All right, that was perfect. Okay, and that was really good because You released when he was in motion, so he did that one step. He released and stopped. Okay, he didn't keep going because you didn't tell him to keep going. All right? So is everybody clear on that? Okay? The reason that this is so important and the reason that I want you to say what you're doing is because when you are riding your horse and you're focused on, my horse is distracted, he doesn't like that horse, he doesn't like the bucket, he doesn't like this, doesn't like that, and so the reaction that you're getting, that your horse is giving you is all over the place. That's when your thoughts are self-doubt, I can't do this, I'm scared, this is bad news, my horse is the worst horse in the world, I'm the worst rider, okay? That all that practice dialogue goes, okay? By you saying what you want your horse to do, go forward, and take the slack out, reach for the rein, give me your nose, move your hind end. You're focusing on the result. The result is what we want, not all the nonsense in between, and it takes away that static that's in your brain, okay? So it will keep you clear, there you go. It's gonna keep you clear on what to do when you don't know what to do, okay? You're having a format, and you have to practice this dialogue outwardly in order for it to get in your brain for when you're riding on your own, okay?
So Tony, I have a question.
Yeah.
So if I pull, I go up here, take this slack out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach down. Do I do more of a out, back to my hip? What am I doing with?
You're going to kind of play it by ear with the response that your horse is giving you.
Okay.
Okay? If he is, the more that you bring your hand towards the horse's spot that you're trying to move,
Yeah.
that's the bigger the cue.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So if you're not having success, because, some horses, my horse, I can squeeze my rein here.
Yeah.
When I know that I'm thinking about this and that's what I'm looking for him to do, he's going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay? So, but in order to get here into that little magic window
Yeah.
of keeping your hands right here, you have to be bigger first. Okay?
Okay.
Little kids, when they learn to write, they're like, right? Until you can learn to have that control. Okay? Same thing, so you just have to practice. This means this. There's the yes. The yes is the release of the rein or the release of the leg if you're asking for forward motion or whatever. Okay, the release is the yes answer. The better, sooner, softer that you get that yes answer, your cue is going to get smaller and smaller.
Okay.
So we're going to start, when you reach for that rein, we're starting here, thinking, give me your nose, move your hind end. But if your horse is not, you're not getting that response, then you're getting firmer in your cue. Okay? So that was a good question. Okay, thank you. All right, so what I want us to do is I just want us to go back and forth along, so pick a spot, and we're just gonna go from wall to wall, and we're just gonna do this at the walk right now, okay? Because starting to have the dialogue, and at first you feel like stupid when you're saying it, but if I was on a horse and I was demonstrating this exercise to you, I would have to be saying it out loud for you to see what I was doing and how I was putting it into play. Okay, so in this one simple exercise, you're getting a whole host of things that you're working on, okay? So you're getting your horse to respond better to your leg cue of go forward. You're getting your horse to respond to softening his nose when you reach for that rein, because it's your rein, not his rein. So there you go, so he's giving you his nose, he's moving that spot right there, release, now wait. So when you release, drop your hand. Okay, now wait. In the wait, you're teaching your horse patience, not to anticipate, oh, I'm just going to go forward, because maybe you don't want him to go forward, okay? So he's learning how to wait for the next instruction, okay? So Susan, when he is, because you want to have the pause, right? You're asking him to disengage, wait, before you give him the go to. He's going, okay, now go. All right. Yep. So if he's going, then he's not understanding that the release is where he needs to wait. Okay? Yep. So don't worry about that. Just be like, oh, you missed it. Let's try it again. So then you're just going to go back to in your nose, move your hips, same thing. Okay? Do it until you get the weight. Anytime we're going to create more more work for our horse. I release right there. Drop your hand up. Now he's there. You go. So now when he does what you want him to do, are you saying what you want him to do?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Saying what I can't, ladies, I cannot stress to you enough how important that is. If I was riding a horse and demonstrating the exercise, I would be saying it. You would be seeing how the spot when I say, give me your nose, his nose is doing this. Move your hind end, his hind end is doing that. Release, wait, you would be seeing it put into play. Okay, there you go. Good. And release right there. Now just pick it back up. Nope, don't stop him with one hand. Just pick it back up and just do the exercise again. So you're not stopping with, that's not the break. There you go. Come around, release. Up, lift up. Come around. There you go. Release. Wait. There you go. Okay. Say it out loud. Yes. Yes. Actually, if you can do it at the jog, then you're going to have already taught at the walk. Okay. And it's more work for them to be more forward to then come to that stop. So it's going to happen faster. Just because lack of space in here, that's why we're just kind of like doing it at the walk.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. Do you have any questions? No?
No, that was great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hi, Marie. So, what was the thing that you thought was the most important that you took away from this clinic?
Well, I think, I ride every day and I get really easy with it to the point where I don't really learn on her. I just keep doing the same thing. And I think having Kelly as a trainer has really helped absorb me into what I'm doing. And, the crucial part of learning and not just riding every day. So for me, it jolted me out of my daily routine. And really, I think it's a very valuable clinic for that reason.
Hi, Rose. So, what was the most important thing that you took away from this clinic?
Well, I think, a little bit of everything, really. But I think, like the concentrating on my breathing, I think that really makes a difference. Keeping my eyes up, that really makes a difference. So it's just a matter of me really just concentrating on myself when I'm in the saddle and trying to put these things to work.
Awesome.
It was great. It was a great clinic.
Thank you.
You're welcome.